Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven, and I'm joined today by not only Anthony, but Andrew as well.
Yay!
We're all here.
We're all here.
We're all here in the same room. We all need to lean in so we can all speak. So we thought we'd just come together and give our thoughts about Nintendo in the 2019, and predictions and hopes and dreams and dream crushes.
I don't know if I have any of those.
I'm just kidding.
We'll see at the end of the year for that.
Man.
I've got pulled up here on Google, obviously. I don't know. Just looking up some of the bigger titles that have been announced or have a release date window of some kind. We have Animal Crossing, we have Luigi's Mansion 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Pokemon, Mortal Kombat 11, and it's not on here, but I think Yoshi's scheduled to release this year too.
That's
Yoshi's
right, yeah.
Crafted World. Actually, it has a release date that Nintendo dropped randomly this past week for March 29th.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
Sweet!
sounds right.
Finally.
It's about time. It was delayed in 2018, and I've been looking forward to it because my wife and I really enjoyed Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U. Which
That was probably my favorite Wii U game, actually.
So good.
Yeah, I'm always looking for a game to play with my wife too. So that one's definitely on the radar. So if it's okay, maybe I'll go first
Yeah, you
with
go
some of my
have
thoughts.
You have it all written down. I don't have it.
He's prepared.
I don't have a script in front of me. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not really a script, just like just some things that I think would be cool. So, hopes for 2019 according to Anthony. I think right now my top priority would probably be for them to kind of really get their game on for improving the online. I think that. Well, let's just put it this way. We've seen just in the past 2 years since this... Oh, wow. 2 years, almost. Since the Switch released. Oh, my gosh. Time is flying. That Nintendo really knows how... They've proven they know how to step up their game. You know, Breath of the Wild was an excellent example. Super Mario Odyssey was another. And their marketing approach is significantly improved, and we're seeing a lot of that based, from the Switch's success. But it just seems goofy that if they're going to step up their game so much in other areas, why do they keep lagging in the online department? It almost seems like they have kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? A vendetta against having good online, like they're stubbornly not wanting to do it, and I think that there's a lot that they can improve there. Now, they do have the cheapest online offerings from anyone, so I guess that's something in their favor. But when really all it is now we're paying a handful of dollars for a service that we were previously getting for free with no additional, very little additional stuff on top. Yeah. I want them to fix that this year. I want them to
agree.
To start taking things seriously. I think that it should start with Smash, because it's a really good package, except online is what I hear. I haven't tried it yet because I'm not much of an online player, but it sounds like it's really crappy, and there's no room for that, especially when, heck, it's called Smash Ultimate, but then there's a giant caveat there, like, unless you like playing online, in which case it's Smash Lagmit. I'm sorry, that was terrible, but you get and so I think that's my number one thing, and I think that's not even just because I use online a ton. I just feel like that's really hurting their cred. I think right now in the gaming world is that they're doing a lot right, but they're also stubbornly doing a lot wrong, and I think that needs to change. So that's top of my list.
Do you have anything to add, Andrew?
No, I was just going to say that's classic Nintendo. They're, like you said, they're doing a lot right, but they're stubbornly doing a lot wrong, and they won't fix that. And like Anthony said, they have the potential to do that online great. And I feel like 10 years ago when the online first came out on the DS, they had Mario Kart, they had Metroid, and those games worked out fantastic. They were great. The online was phenomenal, and then it just went downhill with the launch of the Wii, and they just stopped caring. So
and who knows why, because clearly there's a lot of money there.
There is. How would you think would be the best way to fix it? I was thinking it'd be nice if they added, like, maybe we all know that the Nintendo Entertainment System games were all good, but it doesn't excite me personally to have all those games at my disposal. But if they brought
as the selling point for the service, I mean,
yeah,
come on.
I know that's true. Yes, that too. But wouldn't it be cool if they this year finally brought over at least some Super Nintendo titles?
Expand the
library.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure. I think that I was originally when they were saying
compatible and everything.
Yeah, well, I don't care about that so much.
Me neither, but that's what their selling point is with their NES games. Is you can play online with the brand, like you're handing your controller over to them online.
It's really hacked together. I mean,
I've never tried that. But.
These games were not designed for online. No. So to have them become online, really all it is these games are made for couch co-op, right? And that's how they succeed. And so now you're just turning the couch co-op into online co-op, which is, I guess, cool if your friends don't live near you anymore. Yeah. But I mean, then there's a lot of these where like there was never any multiplayer to begin with, and they're like, now you can play online. I don't even want to know how. It's probably terrible.
And there's still no voice chat to it at all, so you have to use another app or something to stay in contact. So if you're going to do one of these co-op games, you actually have to find a way to separately stay connected and actually talk it through, which is a huge pain if you've ever tried to do that. Yeah, so
the Nintendo Switch is the online app. We tried it once.
It was okay.
It was, which is not good.
It's not good. It was okay.
So
I had my Bluetooth headphones on, one ear off, one ear on with my headphones, and then my TV was going. Right. But then there was just a lag in the chat. It wasn't like it's easier to just do a phone call at that point.
Mm-hmm. Which is what we did.
Which is what we have
as I recall.
Yep.
And then I think just their attitude really needs to change, because the fact that their solution for when they're saying the solution for Smash Online issues is to get a LAN adapter, like, come on, Nintendo. I mean,
when they put the solution on you instead of saying, "Okay, we'll figure this out," that's
pretty
not
lame.
a good practice.
That's pretty lame. So there's a lot of
I had some
Sorry.
No, good.
There's a lot of room for growth there, is all I was
agree.
trying to say. And I think that that this should be the year when they really hammer that out, because it's been long enough.
That's
well said.
Well said. And the fact too, now that they've got a good library going, I don't know how many ads I've seen that say they have 1,000+ games on the Switch. Now that they've got some games you're satiated, tied over, whatever. Now they can actually focus back scene and get that whole everything set up, the whole online, and just get their stuff together. So.
Yeah, so actually, and that kind of ties into another thought I had. I was actually going to talk about this at the end, but I think this is a good segue.
Sorry.
No. Actually, no, you didn't tell me off. You made me redirect my thoughts. I would also like to see Nintendo start doing more new IPs. And I think that tying that into a better online service would be a really good thing, too. I think so when Splatoon came out, and I think it was 2015, that was a very pleasant surprise. And I'm not necessarily even the biggest Splatoon fan. I play it now and then, and I do enjoy it, at least until I get creamed, and then I decide a sinner. No,
I'm a big Splatoon fan. Ever since the first one.
It's a fun game. I'm just the type of person that's not super good at it, and so eventually I'll get into this rut. I'm calling myself out here with So you guys can all call me noobs, a noob if you want. But once I get locked into those rounds where I'm always playing against these people that make it so like my gameplay experience is I spawn and then I die.
You die.
And then I spawn and then I die. And then I spawn and I die. I'm not having fun anymore, so I stop. So it's
true.
It's an on and on again, off again
Yep.
type of game for me. But it was a cool idea, and it's something that Nintendo hasn't done for decades, introducing an entirely new IP, and it's really it's become a phenomenon, especially in Japan.
I'm sure you're impressed as well.
Yeah, and so. And I mean, you know, they've got the Inkling characters in Smash Ultimate, and they're a big hit too, from what I hear. Tier lists, apparently they're like, I hear Zero is saying they're the best. So
really
that's a pretty big deal, and that all came from Nintendo being brave and trying something new. And I feel like they've kind of, for some reason, despite its commercial success, kind of pulled back and started being a little shy about it again. So I would like to see not only one, you know, just a new IP. I'd like to see a number of new ideas. And I'm not saying that I want that to come at the expense of you know, all of the mainstays. I mean, I definitely want another Zelda, and I definitely want to know about Metroid Prime 4. That's another thought.
Yeah, we're going to go into that later. That's a little bit later. Don't worry.
And, you know, I want to keep seeing Mario games for sure, you know, especially after Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. I definitely want to see more of that. But Nintendo has proven that, you know, well, the success of those games is innovation on the formula they already had. It's that they had, you know, yeah, they're Mario and Zelda games, but they are new Mario and Zelda games, and they're taking them in a direction that is awesome. And so I want to see more of that innovation with new stuff, and I don't know what that would be. They're the creative geniuses, crazy geniuses sometimes, and I want them to do something more new.
I agree.
What do you guys think?
No, I'm in that same boat, and I'd like to see. They actually have put out a few new IPs, but they've all been mobile games, and so that's something where, I mean, as much as that is a good market for them, I think they know too that the console is their real selling point, and so I would love to see some of these new IPs, even if they make them for mobile, put it onto console, and so that we can get that there too.
Yeah, like, isn't that what they said they wanted to do with the mobile anyway? Is they wanted to put like a...
Was it like Try the Waters or something?
Yeah, exactly. You try the waters with the new Super Mario Run, and then you'll want to try to get a Switch and actually try the Super Mario Odyssey. That was kind of like what they were saying they wanted to do with the mobile anyway, so why not put a new IP on a phone and then bring that IP to the Switch in HD, I guess it's HD anyway, but in like a home console experience later.
And
that'd be kind of cool. Well,
and
I'd
like
like to
they
see
did
it
with
go both
Pokemon,
ways.
right? With Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, they had that tie-in with the Pokemon Go where it could
That's
connect. True. So if they did that, I don't know.
I don't know
if they did something good.
I like that new IP thing, and I totally agree. And I think we've forgotten that there is one coming out this year. Town. Isn't Town coming out in 2019?
Oh, I'm pretty sure about that one.
Town is by Game Freak, the creators of Pokemon, but they're doing a brand new thing in a town.
That's true. Okay.
So I guess it's not necessarily Nintendo, but it kind of is.
They're owned by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's difficult, complicated. That's the thing.
I don't know my facts very well, obviously.
Game Freak, they've put out a few IPs over the year that kind of just fizzle out. Like they had Drill Dozer, they had the Harmony Knights. They've done a few different little IPs that are actually really cool, and they'll have like Pokemon characters and other Nintendo guys in them. And they'll come out and they'll promote it for like a week or two, and then it's like they just hang it up and forget about it.
Cool. Let's do more Pokemon.
That was a neat idea. Let's go back to that.
It's like Nintendo hired them specifically just to make Pokemon games, and that's it.
Well, they are called the Pokemon Company. Well, I mean, I guess they're a subsidiary or something. So I guess no, Game Freak is their own thing, but
still.
When you've got a cash cow that all you have to do now is slap the name on and you earn whatever millions of dollars, I can't blame them too much.
Nope.
No.
So anyway, yes, new IPs, and I guess Town is one to watch out for. I didn't feel like I was super stoked by the concept, but I mean, they haven't shown us much of anything.
I haven't either,
anyway.
but yeah.
So
I've never heard of this confession time. What exactly? Like, what genre is it? Is it like a simulator type one, like Harvest Moon, or is this?
No,
it's hard to describe. It kind of looks like it's part RPG, part town simulator. Like,
yeah,
okay.
you're like these villagers. You're a villager in a town, and there's monsters that come, and
you have to defend your town and build it or something, make it stronger. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
I forget. It was
like
just
that.
a concept.
It was a little, it was a concept thrown at us at the last Nintendo Direct, not the last one, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, so it could be cool.
Anyway, it could be really good.
I mean,
if they've got Game Freak, then
it's a pretty
high
good chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that tangent.
No. These are great. These are great. And interject your thoughts as much as you want. I don't want to drive this myself. Entirely.
All of mine are predictions.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of just hopes here. So that is another tie-in though. So speaking of Game Freak, I'm kind of excited to see more about Pokemon Switch, and that's actually kind of funny for me because I think. We talked before. I'm traditionally not the biggest Pokemon fan. I've played, and I've just had a little trouble getting into it. But I saw a concept of Pokemon Switch that has really made me kind of curious. And I mean, like, I think it was just a rumor. Chances are it was probably, some troll who was wanting to get hopes up, and so I'm not hanging my hopes on it. But there was this picture I saw. It was where someone was claiming it was a potential leak of the appearance of the new Pokemon game, and it kind of was like Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild, and it was like this really cool landscape with cliffs rising off in the distance, and your Pokemon companion was right there with you, and I looked at it, I'm like, wow, no, that would be quite compelling. No more of the top-down stuff. I know that's pretty traditional, but like, especially if you could have the same type of exploration that you could in Breath of the Wild, that would be pretty darn compelling.
I think we talked about that before, that exact format, and I totally agree. I'd be all over that. That'd be sick. That's the right way Pokemon needs to go, I think.
Yes,
I don't know.
But I agree.
Let's ask the expert.
I agree. I love the Pokemon games. Own every single one of them, but I agree that if they open up the world, make it just bigger, because I don't want really more Pokemon introduced. I think they've got plenty to work with. If they,
that's true.
If they could, with all those Pokemon to work with, just make a big world that you can just have fun, explore, just bring back that charm of the exploration, that unknown, like Breath of the Wild did. I think that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if they step up their Wi-Fi game, like we've said, I again would be in heaven. That would be fantastic.
What if they did? I think we talked about this before too. What if they did some sort of like MMO style? Where like
we have talked about this.
We have talked about this.
Yes.
I think it was during one of the recordings specific about totally about Pokemon. Okay, so we're just retreading ground here, but now that we have maybe
that's our dream, man. That'd be so sick.
Now that we have a little bit more, maybe a kernel of a hope, let me just revisit this for a sec. I think it would be really cool if there was like, kind of Breath of the Wild style. But like if it was online where trainer battles were actually against other people, and then like you catch your Pokemon in a world like that would be pretty darn cool.
That'd be sweet.
And even if they don't do that, like if they still have the Breath of the Wild style of world, that would be very compelling for me. And so I find myself really hoping that they do take that step, because again, since the Switch came out, we've seen that Nintendo's new path to success, at least as far as I see it, is innovation, not just in terms of like hardware, but software and their stories and challenging the conventions of their established games. Breath of the Wild went way out on a limb. Excellent. Super Mario Odyssey, same deal. Maybe a little bit less daringly, but still
really good.
And it's my favorite entry. And so why not do the same with Pokemon? Just keep it still Pokemon at its core.
Yeah.
But do something really innovative with it, and I think that could be a big thing. There's just a couple things that I think that they'd need, a couple of the trappings of the genre that I think that they would need to sweep under the rug to make it work. And I think that the main things, and these are just my opinions, you guys can agree or disagrey as you choose.
I will bring in my Let's Go innovation into whatever you're saying.
So, I think that so if we're gonna have this big world that we can explore, I don't want to be stopped by a tree anymore in my path. I want to be able to walk around it. I don't want to have to use a technical machine to teach my Pokemon to chop down the tree so I can walk over it. I want to be able to. I don't want to have arcade obstacles,
artificial barriers,
like that. I want. I want there to still be some sort of progression system where I'm locked out of things until I learn how to do X, Y, or Z. But I want it to be maybe just a little bit updated.
So, a little bit more when you want to do it, how you want to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, just I don't want a little shrub in my way, and I'm like, oh no, there's these invisible walls that are preventing me from going around this tree. So that's one thing, and then the rest are just personal preferences. I'd like to see Pokemon know how to use more than 4 moves, and I don't want them to forget them. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. That for example, you can teach a Pokemon to forget how to throw its body at something else. Like, what? I don't know how to.
I don't remember how to do that.
It's gone.
Yeah,
but I can hypnotize you now. I don't know. Anyway, but
Andrew probably has something to say about that.
I actually like that because it adds to the strategy of the game. You have to prioritize and strategize, and while it might maybe not the most logical thing, it is a strategy game. It's an RPG, and so having yourself limited to those 4 moves, while I'd like to see more for sure, I have no problem with it. And I know Nintendo, they've tried twice. I think it was when they went 3D in X and Y, and in Ruby and Sapphire, they tossed up being able to allow your Pokemon more than 4 moves, but they stuck with just the 4 moves. And so, as cool as it would be, I don't see them budging too much from where they are.
But still, I should clarify. It's not that I have a problem with them having 4 moves that are selectable in battle. I just want to be able to switch them out on the fly outside of battle. I don't want to.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. You want a more traditional RPG, right? Because you can do that with other RPG games, can't you? You can swap out moves. Or no?
It depends. Yeah, there's games.
There are games like that, but
so like for example, you just made me think of a good example. The Tales of series. I'm a pretty big fan of those. You can only have 4 arts or techs or whatever they call them now equipped at a time, but you can switch them out, and you don't permanently forget them and then have to go back to some sort of sage and say, please teach me this again, I can't remember how to do it. So something like that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I've already proven though that I'm a bit of a Pokemon heretic to some degree. Not that I don't like it, I'm just
Right. So, but just to throw my 2 cents
these guys will lynch me and burn me in effigy after this. So
my first real Pokemon entry was Let's Go, kind of. I guess it was the 7th generation Pokemon Sun, but still, I would just throw in my tidbits that I want to see Pokemon in the real world. Not in the real world. I want to see Pokemon in the new Pokemon Switch title like you do in Pokemon Let's Go, because that was so nice.
That's really neat. I do like that.
Let's not get rid of that.
No
That'd be really cool.
Battles.
If it's like Breath of the Wild-esque, then we need to have... I love how that's becoming a thing, by the way. But anyway. I want to be able to see the Pokemon. I want to see a Bulbasaur running through the grass.
Yeah. Well, and especially
like
if
a
you've got a
Charizard
world like that.
chasing another Pokemon, trying to catch it on fire. Like,
No, that would be cool.
and then like stop messing around with that Pokemon. I'm gonna try to catch you now. I'm gonna battle you, and then I'm gonna catch you, and then I want to bring that battle catching back. But still, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think random encounters needs to go away now, because I feel like random encounters were artifacts of RPGs back in a day when, you know, technical limitations made it the most sensible way to approach battles. But now, especially if we're going to have a large open world, you expect me to suspend my disbelief that, you know, this Pokemon just randomly
Snuck up on me.
you know, suddenly it's there. There's nothing I can do to avoid it.
How
you
did
know?
I not see this Charizard in front of me?
So I think that the improvements in you know, on the technical side of gaming makes it so that I can't suspend my disbelief anymore, and it's an archaic system anyway by this point. So definitely on the field. And you know what? I'm fine if it transfers into a battle screen, but I want to see them
beforehand.
on the field.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So
Okay, got anything to add before we move on? Nope, we're good.
and good Pokemon thoughts. Okay. You guys should throw out some of your hopes. I've got a few more.
Oh,
but I
I've
don't
got
wanna-
some. I just want to wait until you're done. You're probably gonna tie into some of ours. So
Okay, all right.
And I might have to, you know, raise
Okay.
the hammer.
Well, then the next one is my bombshell, and then there's just
Here
a few
comes the
after that.
hammer.
There it comes.
Here comes the hammer. All right, let's hear it.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yes! 2020.
No,
That's
come
the
on.
hammer.
No.
No, I'm sure.
It's
not gonna
probably
happen.
you're probably right, but I don't want that
But that's
to
the
happen.
hammer.
That's a very rude hammer.
It is a very rude hammer, but
Okay.
we haven't heard anything about it yet.
It's true. So the main thing I'm hoping for is I want to see a trailer. I want to see a detailed trailer. I think they've had enough time by now to at least give us something.
More than the logo.
Yeah, the big number 4 in the space.
Hey, it
which
worked.
was cool.
It worked at the time.
Generated
Oh, yeah.
the most.
It's not gonna
buzz,
work anymore.
Oh yeah. Well,
not gonna
no,
work
I saw a meme once that summed it up pretty well. You know, Nintendo is a very powerful company. They show a 4 in space and people lose their minds, and then they show a fiery ball and the world explodes. Smash Bros.
That's true.
But you know, I'm ready to know more. So please, trailer. You know,
I for sure we're gonna get a trailer this year.
and I'd like to have some of the story details.
And who knows? We may even get a trailer and an announcement date for this year too. Because
Announcement
Nintendo's
date.
been
We need that
We
this
do.
year.
We do
even
need-
if it doesn't come out this year.
I agree. That needs to happen
Just
too.
something to work with. Yeah.
But still, I think either we'll get, you know, we'll definitely get a trailer. I hope we get a release date, and they still might go with what they were doing in 2017. I mean, they've been doing it the whole Switch life cycle, right? They would announce a game and it comes out 3 months later or 4 months later or whatever. It's like super. It's not even a year. You don't have to wait a year for it. So if they do that, that would be that'd be amazing.
It comes out today. What? Yes.
So I'm not gonna say I would. I would love that.
no, that would.
And I want to see, well, around the Metroid thing, I'd still want to see the Metroid Prime trilogy come to Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, support
In HD. Not just,
The,
you know,
not
I
just
want, I want an HD.
the HD.
In the controls of Metroid Prime 4, kind of like they did with the Wii.
the trilogy.
I don't know if they
disc,
could
right?
do that, but I want it.
They could. It's just like the motion with the little Joy-Cons, like Skyrim. You could play like that. That they could.
That's true.
Super easily put.
That's true.
Just
They
need
could
to
just
make
bring in the
sure-
normal controls. They could do that too.
They just need to make sure
But-
it's tight, because Corruption, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption was my favorite of the trilogy, just
So
because the
good.
controls worked so well on the Wii. And I feel like I still have some regret that they. I mean, it's nice to not have that ugly sensor bar on the top of the screen anymore.
Yes, that's very nice.
But at the same time, it's more accurate
Oh, yeah.
than the gyro sensing.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping
We
that
can
they
all
make
admit
sure
that.
it's tight.
If you can't,
So
you
that
got
would be
problems.
cool. That would be cool. But yeah, back to Metroid Prime 4 real quick.
Okay,
just
let's
to
go
finish
back.
my thoughts
No,
on that.
no.
Yep,
We're-
that would be
we're-
cool.
I'm not even done talking about Metroid Prime.
So trailer, release date, story details, if we can, some just some of the setting or what it's following up to, if it's directly after the original trilogy or if it's somewhere else in the timeline. But also, and this is just me kind of just hoping. I mean, I've based a lot of my hopes and my thoughts so far on Nintendo's recent innovations. I'd like to. I kind of hope that they've done a similar thing to Metroid, because for me,
you've opened a can of worms. Because I have an idea too. So
yeah. I
kind of forget about these things, so he brings them up. And I'm like, I did
You
it.
did.
Sorry, go ahead.
First of all, it would just be sad to me that. So for me, the main three of Nintendo's IPs are Mario, Zelda, and Metroid, and Mario and Zelda have had their renaissance and are excellent because of it. Better than they were in my mind. So I feel like it would be sad if there wasn't a similar degree of innovation for Metroid. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily need to completely go off the rails, because I feel like the first-person shooter style really worked. I think that I'd be interested if they ended up going with a third-person shooter style. That I think that would still be really cool as well, and probably would allow for them to do a little bit more of the platforming elements that are traditional to Metroid games a little bit more naturally. Mm-hmm. I mean, looking at Screw Attack from the Prime games, that was nonsense to try and use that thing. So there was some sacrifices they made there. If they don't do that, if they stick with first-person shooters, that style, I still love the Prime games.
Or if they give you the option to switch.
Well, okay,
that's
no.
Did you ever play Federation Force?
No, I did not.
That game was actually really fun. But there were moments where it toggled between first person and third, and those moments were the frustrating parts. And so, besides the controls were some of the worst controls I've ever played in a game. But
that's bad.
It was a fun game, but those moments when they did go between first and third person with the controls, those were the frustrating moments, and that game was all about teamwork, and those were when you got mad at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Anyway,
so what I meant was, by that, let me clarify. What I meant was, it's kind of like Star Wars Battlefront. You can go into the settings and change it from first person to third person, and it would permanently stay that way. That's what I meant.
Well, I mean,
but then you'd have to program it all to work with first and third, which would be more work.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work.
It'd be more work.
And I think that would. So, I mean, I think that works well for a game like Battlefront, because it's all about just shooting. But Metroid, it's about exploration, about platforming,
puzzles, and all that other.
Speaking of, can I
go
intercept again?
Go
and see if you guys shoot me down.
Okay.
I want an open explorations Metroid game.
No, that's actually kind of what I was thinking too.
I want to have dogfights in Samus's ship in space. I want to seamlessly land on a planet and jump out of my ship and explore the planet and get back in the ship, take off. Kind of like a Starlink type thing, but you can get out of your ship.
Mm-hmm. Like Star Fox Adventure on the GameCube.
Maybe like that too. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I did enjoy that
maybe
game
not.
when it came out.
That's a good point.
But definitely a higher level of quality. I hope they don't get so ambitious that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot, because I feel like, again, I think that dogfights in space would be freaking awesome.
So cool.
But I want to make sure that they stick to the what makes the Metroid games Metroid, which is mostly solitary exploration in a hostile alien world. So what I would love, and maybe there's some elements of what you've said tied in, but like my vision is, say, she lands on this alien planet, and of course there's the rationale behind it. There's the space pirates are there, and they're setting up some sort of plan to destroy the universe. Whatever their rationale behind it is, but then set me on this world and then actually let me explore it the way a planet would be explored. You know, like instead of so like in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, you go to a lot of different planets, but really it's just you land on a spot. And then you
follow those rails down.
Yeah.
You have one specific route you can go.
So I would like to have, you know, a bona fide, like, spherical map that I can, you know, circle and, you know, if I want, by just walking across it and, you know, exploring it. So I mean, and I think that, you know, they could definitely hurt themselves if they try to go too big there. But I think, you know, I mean, just a smaller world, but still, you know, a large area to explore. That would be awesome.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. See, that tied up perfectly right in what I was saying. Andrew, what do you think?
I agree. I would love that, and I got my thoughts all scrambled now because I'm thinking about how cool that would be. But another like total tangent, when you said core Metroid game, I remembered Bloodstained, and I hope that comes out this year, which is a Metroidvania. It's the guy who did the Castlevania games. I forget his name.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's that big one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Kickstarter one. Anyway, I'm just going to throw in there. That's one hopefully comes out this year. I'm excited for. I will get it on Switch.
Did they announce that for Switch?
Yep.
Ooh, there you go.
So,
it does look cool.
And they released the
8-bit
little teaser, and I beat that game a couple times, and I loved it. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Metroid game at its core. That's what I love those games.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, that's a great tie-in though, because I feel like, you know, so we have all these thoughts we want for Metroid Prime 4, and I think that should be Nintendo's Metroid flagship for the series. But I want to keep them to keep the 2D games concurrently alive as well.
Oh, for sure. I want them on Switch and not on 3DS.
Let's just all admit that the 3DS is dead. Nintendo.
But
Nintendo
if they do it on
want
the 3DS, then fine, I'll take it. I'll definitely buy it.
They don't.
But no,
they just don't want to admit it yet. But the Switch has killed the 3DS.
Yes,
it's true.
Yep,
it's
killed
just
it for me. I haven't touched that thing in forever.
It's a
Last
walking
time I played it was
dead.
with Metroid Samus Return.
Yeah, me too.
That's it.
I played Pokemon today.
That's not to say that I don't like the 3DS. There's excellent games on there, but at the same time, if the ones I like get ported to the Switch, that's gonna go bye bye.
The Switch is gonna take priority.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a tangent, but to sum all that up, Metroid Prime 4 this year. Please give us all the information. Innovation is awesome. But just news would be great. And then 2D Metroid still needs to stay alive because...
And on Switch.
And if they did a teaser with that, so they announced Metroid Prime 4, they put us out 2020, 2021, but then they give us
don't say that.
If they give us a teaser 2D game for the Switch, which we've seen with indie games, and they're just classic... I don't know, I'm thinking of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, these games that were made on these 3D consoles in 2D that are just... polished and perfect. If they gave us a story teaser, whatever, with 2D Metroid, building up the anticipation for Metroid Prime 4, I'd be very.
I'd be okay with that. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but sooner the better, all the same.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I think the last two thoughts for me, and I'll just make these shorter. Mostly just things one that I'm excited for, and another that I would like them to do. Luigi's Mansion 3, I'm excited for that. I feel like there's not much more to be said other than I'm really excited for it. And that one, I don't feel like they need to do quite as much innovation because I feel like, no. Let me back up.
Okay.
Innovation is always great, but I'm not sitting there. I'm not like saying I want them to, change anything in a major way. I'm just excited because I love that series, and I just, okay, here's the innovation. Make it a giant mansion.
There you
lots
go.
and lots and stuff.
A true mansion.
See,
right?
that's what I was gonna say. Right before you said that is, I want them to. I haven't played the first one, I admit, but I did play the second one, and I would like them to go back to the first game's style where it's all one mansion, or you can have multiple, but just let me walk between the two and make it feel like one connected map, one continuous mission, and not like break it up into little pieces like Dark Moon did.
Yeah,
that's all I would say.
The mission structure worked, but
It did,
I
especially
feel
for 3DS. It was good to have them all broken up like that. But
and honestly, I do think that I enjoyed Dark Moon more than the original. But at the same time, the whole time I did miss just being able to explore this creepy place. Instead of being sucked back through the pixelator or whatever it was.
Yep.
Each time I finished a mission.
Yep.
But I'm very excited. I'm very glad it's coming out on the Switch, and I'm hoping that we'll hear more soon. Yep. Yeah. And then my final thought is, and this one is another one of those things where they should do it, but I don't know if they ever will.
Real talk.
Paper Mario. Come on, guys. I want Paper Mario back, and I want it. I don't. Okay.
I don't have any.
You don't have any thoughts here?
Oh, no. I'm not a big Paper Mario guy.
You should be.
I should be. I should be. So I'll let you continue.
Anyway, I want it in the style of the original 2 games. I want Thousand Year Door style of battles, level of quality. I mean, there's a reason why that game is considered among certain circles to be one of the greatest games of all time. So, and you know what? I enjoyed some of the innovation that came in some of the later games. I liked Super Paper Mario, but it was also, to me, it was more like a side series than a new direction, and I was sad that they continued with it being a new direction, especially with Sticker Star. I never touched that thing. I steered clear because I heard it was crap, and I've never heard differently. I did play Color Splash. It was better. It was, but it was still not Paper Mario. I mean, you stomp the color out of them using freaking cards. I don't know what this thing is with cards and stickers, but please step away from that. Let's go back to the RPG style with partners in battle. I mean, I want to see the RPG trappings come back, and I want it to be Thousand Year Door quality. I want the story to be good again.
Well, they did that with Mario Party. They went from everyone being in the same car, traveling along the board together, back to the traditional. Everyone's on their own space,
finally,
and collecting cards. Yeah, that needed to happen.
It's good again.
But that game is so good. I got it for Christmas. Anyway, it's really good, and I think they've done that in the past, going back to previous formulas when the new innovation didn't work as well as they would hoped, probably. But I could see them going back to the original.
I'm going to say that using the term innovation to describe what they did with Sticker Star and Color Splash is a misnomer. I would call it the word I would use is devolution.
There you go.
Yeah, it was devolved. It was a step back. It was a
regression,
huge,
right?
Yeah,
there you go.
Perfect. It was a step back, and I want them to go back to what made the original games great, and also, or just not only Paper Mario, but I actually want to see them do a little bit more with RPG styles with some of their existing IPs, or a new one as well, because some of my favorite games are, existing IPs, mostly Mario, that they turned into RPGs. I'm a huge RPG fan, and not only Paper Mario, but I love the Mario and Luigi games. Those are a little bit tired now, though. I think they need to try something new. The formula has been done a lot, and I think it's petering out. But something like that, maybe a sequel to Super Mario RPG. That's a freaking good game. That is a freaking good game.
Bring back Gino.
Yeah, okay. I hope they do. I hope he's one of the DLC characters for Smash. I keep on hearing things.
Are we opening up for Smash now?
I keep on hearing things.
Did you just open up for Smash character predictions for DLC?
Oh, are we doing that? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, sure we could. Anyway, let me just finish this though, just by saying that Paper Mario, please, or just RPGs.
With Mario.
Sure, or just something like it, where it's because the fun thing about those games,
that could be fun. It could work if they do
mobile
right.
Or something.
As long as they don't sell it as if it's like a mainstream Zelda game.
Yeah, where they use the IP instead of abusing it, kind of.
Yes, I like
where
that.
It's instead of just a bland game splashed with fun characters, it's actually like a fun game that utilizes the characters and makes them meaningful too.
And that's exactly what they did with Paper Mario. It's not taken away from Mario. It's its own universe. It's not even the same Mario. I mean, he's paper, so obviously. Right. So I didn't need to say that. Anyway, faux pas for the day. Anyway, but something like that I would like. So okay. Smash character
DLC.
Yeah, that's actually a big thing this year. Anyway, I think Geno would be cool, and it would rep a really good series, and add more Mushroom Kingdom characters, quote unquote, that are interesting and different.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be cool. And it doesn't seem like it's too far stretched now that they've released the first. They revealed the first DLC character.
The Piranha Plant?
No.
No?
The other one.
Oh yeah, from
Joker.
Persona 5.
From Persona 5.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's pretty cool, actually. And but the only reason, so the reason at the same time why I think that Geno might not be super likely is because of what Nintendo said about the characters. That Joker would be emblematic of the type of surprises we should expect.
Yeah.
And so, since Geno is Nintendo IP, now, surprisingly, it's actually kind of a reversal. Usually, when I'm expecting characters, I expect most likely to be a Nintendo
Their
character.
own guys, just keep it in-house.
But now it's the opposite, because now they've said that, and I'm like, oh, well now a Nintendo character I wouldn't necessarily categorize as that type of surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they just said that to throw us off the trail. They're classic Nintendo stuck in their little ruts there, but they're trying to throw us off with a little smoke.
Oh, they do that. No, they do
no,
that.
They do that.
They do that. So I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Geno though. I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
And he is from left field. He's not many people even know about him.
Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of people too who think he's like Final Fantasy or something. They wouldn't realize that he is Mario.
Yeah. So that would be cool, but I don't know about that one. And then I've also heard, and this one I'm not actually taking any bait on. I think, I mean, it would be cool and it would satisfy a lot of people. I've heard rumors, and this is probably a troll. Just a troll plant rumor. That Nintendo has decided to hear the fans out and add Wario in as a playable character.
I don't know. Or Waluigi, right?
Oh, I am sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's what I meant.
I totally know exactly who you meant. Yeah.
Waluigi. I know who it is. I just said it wrong. Everyone's sitting there like, he's in the game.
We've had him for a few years now. Since Brawl, right?
Yeah.
10 years. We got 11 years now, yeah.
I'm just out of the loop. Yeah, no. Waluigi. And that would make a lot of people happy. But again, while that would be, I guess, a pretty big surprise considering how determined they seem to be to
keep
not
him
do
out,
it.
Yeah.
It's
still not.
Who you're talking about?
Waluigi. So we're saying that we've heard rumors that he might be added, but I don't know. It's not necessarily the type of surprise I'd expect.
But we've never had an assist trophy turn into a character before, have we? In the same game?
Not in the same game.
It has, after the next game, but not the same game. So that'd be really cool. I don't know if they do that, but hopefully.
It would.
For all you Waluigi fans out there.
All two of you. No, I'm just kidding.
Ouch! I hope for the two of you out there that it happens.
And then all the rest scream and rage. How dare you! Exclude us. No. But oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I think that would earn them a lot of points.
That one. You know what else would earn them a lot of points? Sora.
Yes.
Sora. I keep saying this again and again and again.
Yes,
I want Sora. Yes. And now that they did Persona 5, there's no excuse.
Well,
Sora.
And they've at least even had a Kingdom Hearts game on the Nintendo console.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Handheld specifically, I guess. So, yes. Okay. So he is one of my most wanted characters. I've actually, even before Brawl came out, people would ask me, who, if you could have anyone added to Smash, the next Smash game, who would it be? He's been on my list for a long time, but I've never held my breath because he's super unlikely. He's not a Nintendo character, and he's owned by one of the most powerful companies in the world, and they probably don't want to just let go of their IPs.
I don't think I can put any of that footage.
No. Yeah.
Oh, probably not.
I'll put a logo up. That's
the Disney copyright guys, they are the fiercest lawyers out there. That's one that, as cool as that would be, I don't know
if it's gonna happen.
If the number 2 fiercest lawyers, Nintendo, would be able to strike a bargain with Disney on that one, but that would be.
It would be
way
really cool. And so part of me, finds myself hoping more because, like, again, if Joker is the template by which we should judge the rest of the character reveals, then I find myself actually maybe getting too hopeful that Sora could be a selection because he's a shoo-in. Come on, he would be perfect.
He would be
really fun. They did say that the characters being picked by Nintendo and Sakurai has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you knew that or not, but hopefully that doesn't mean that Sora still can't be a possibility.
Well, but I mean, if Persona Persona was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and so the fact that
that's true.
They made that deal work.
They made that work.
True.
And for Sony to give up that power, that card there, and I'm sure, I guess it's not giving up. There's probably some sort of deal in place. But the fact that they were able to work that out really does make me hopeful that Sora could be in. And I would flip my lid like crazy. Like I think the last time I got that excited is when they revealed Shulk. I was not expecting that to happen. When he did, I screamed my head off. So I wouldn't mind have that happen again.
Nope. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so I've pretty much exhausted my guesses. You guys, so we've got 2 more slots. We have Joker, Hino. Are we locking him in?
I'm pretty sure Gino's. Well, I don't know.
You don't think
He should be locked in.
He should be.
So we're gonna lock him in.
Sora. 2 more.
I don't. The one I've always been pulling forward, and when they had the polls back in the Wii U Smash Bros. Days, I want the Space Pirates from Metroid because, like we've mentioned, Metroid is one of the best Nintendo IPs, and I would love the Space Pirates as a playable character. I think that would be so cool.
Cool. It's certainly an underrepresented series.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that was always my selling point, was that the men from the Metroid universe were underrepresented in Smash Brothers.
Oh, you know what would be legit? You play as one of the hunters from Metroid Prime Hunters.
Oh, yes. Like, do it like the like Bowser Jr. style, right? Where you shuffle through all
the hunters.
All 7 of them.
Ooh,
because Hunters that was one of my favorite DS games.
That was a good game.
That was a good
That was way good game. And you flew behind the planet network.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd go for that.
That would be cool.
Okay, all right. I think I might be.
That would.
Yeah, we're probably straying a little bit into the hopes field here because who knows how to.
Yeah.
Steve from Minecraft.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. The people are guessing it's going to be a Steve from Minecraft, but no, you don't want that.
I don't know how that would work.
Me neither. Let's just not do it.
But I guess there is Game & Watch in the game, so maybe they would be able to make that work.
Let's not, though.
Let's not lock him in as
Let's not lock him in. Please.
Okay, so number 4 then, so a hunter from Metroid Prime Hunters, or one of the...
Pirate.
Or Space Pirate. Sorry.
More Metroid.
More Metroid. There's nothing wrong with more Metroid.
And then...
That's what they mean Nintendo fan in the first place.
What?
That's true. That and Zelda were what made me a Nintendo fan in the first place. Sorry. So it's Nintendo. It's Mario, Zelda, Metroid. Sorry.
3.
Okay, go ahead.
So and then I think there should be at least one more like super unlikely IP sharing type thing like with Joker. And you know what? It could turn out that all of them are going to be that way. I don't even know where to start guessing. I've heard some people be like, Kratos from God of War would be really cool. And,
I was gonna say that.
Things like that. That would be, I guess so. My last one would be insert character here from some unlikely game. Like I have a friend who said it would be really, like he said it would be awesome to have a rep from Blizzard.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I don't really know any of the characters from Blizzard.
I don't either, but
if they did an Overwatch one, that would be
Overwatch.
That would be fun.
Great.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be a really good get.
Pretty much any of the slots would be well suited to that type of edition. And you could start a laundry list there. Drake from Uncharted. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. I mean, there's a lot of good.
Okay, that'd be cool.
She'd be a pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Her taunt, she could say she has to do something, and oh man, that's
mess with the wrong family.
There's a lot of cool things they could do.
Okay.
So yeah, they could.
Or Lloyd. Whatever happened to your Lloyd dream?
He would be cool. But I almost want to know.
Wasn't he an assist trophy?
No, he's a costume.
He's a costume. Okay.
He was a costume. Part of me likes to think that was because they considered the excellent logic of my original. That was the guy that I requested when they did the poll that brought Bayonetta in. I
wrote Sora.
Yeah. For me,
it's been Sora from the beginning.
Yeah, I wanted him to.
I'm just kidding. No,
but okay, just interjection here. This is a little bit off topic, but I ended up selecting someone that I thought I could get them to select based on really good logic. Like if I just went with someone that I really, really wanted, it probably would have been more like either Isaac or Sora. But if we're being honest, but I said Lloyd because I'm like, come on, guys. The Tales of games already have Smash Bros. Controls in it. That's how you equip the arts. Up B, side B, neutral B, down B, and then, I gave them, Smash 4 is being done as a partnership with Bandai Namco, and Tales is owned by them, and Pac-Man is the only character from them that is represented. And Lloyd Irving is probably one of the most popular, well-known characters from the Tales of games. So, hint, hint, they didn't do it. But I'd like to think that my arguments is what got the costume. Anyway. But anyway, I think that exhausts my guesses.
Exhausted mine.
I hope they surprise us a lot, though, and they said they will. So. That's going to be something to look forward to throughout the year.
Sit back and relax. It's going to be an awesome ride. I don't know if it'd be as awesome as 2017, but let's just cross our fingers.
It would be hard,
because it's something like it's going to be a great year anyway. You got all these great titles coming out in the same year, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. And I mean, a core Pokemon game coming out this year, as long as they don't delay it, which they better not. We
didn't even talk about the Fire Emblem games.
Oh, that's true.
And I'm not a big RPG guy, so
I don't even know a whole lot about it. I honestly, tactical RPGs are not as much my speed. I did play Fire Emblem Awakening, and I really enjoyed that one. And I think maybe that's in partly due to the fact that they made it more casual friendly. And this is where people are going to lynch me and be like, you're such a noob and lame. I don't think I'm the type of person where I'm a bit of a completionist, not to the point where I'll do literally everything in the game, but if I find out that I've missed a permanent missable, it turns me off to the game super hard. Suddenly I don't want to play anymore, and so permadeath doesn't jive with me. If I lost a character, I swear I would load until I beat that battle perfectly, and I wouldn't be able to enjoy the game because I'd be loading constantly.
Yeah, so that sounds like me too.
So Awakening was, an awakening for me. Lol. Anyway, for the Fire Emblem games, but I did enjoy that one. So I'm definitely, it's on my radar, and it could be a pretty big one. So,
this is a really big one.
But it's
what it looks like.
My mainstays this year are definitely Metroid and Pokemon. And again, that one's kind of surprising to me, but it's looking pretty cool, and it's undeniable that it is their flagship title this year.
And let's cross our fingers that it's this year.
Yep.
And not 2020.
Come on, they've got to do it.
You can do it.
They've delayed it long enough.
Yes.
And, I mean, honestly, after we found out that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee wasn't the core game, I'm like, okay, guys, so you just, at least it was a surprise to me, you just suddenly revealed to us that it's coming out a whole year later than I expected, so now you've got plenty of time, no more delays. Mm-hmm. You know, unless, of course, they pull a Breath of the Wild and be like, we want to make it the ultimate Pokemon. I'm like, okay.
Sure. And if it is like Breath of the Wild,
there'll be a riot, though, if they do that.
If they delay it again?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's gonna hurt.
That sounds like a really bad idea.
It's gonna hurt their year really bad if they do that. So
I'm
let's just
cringing, man. Oh yeah, I sat up.
Oh. But there's a lot of other good stuff out there, so I'm excited for this year.
Grading for the year. How excited are you out of 10?
I will say a 9. I will say a 9.
I'm gonna have to go with like a 7.5. I'm really, Pokemon is what's got me excited. Animal Crossing 2, but I'm also.
We didn't even talk about that yet.
We didn't even touch that one.
We will.
I'm excited, but I'm also kind of weary because I don't know what they'll do, and I feel like New Leaf had a lot of amazing things, but it also did a lot of things that were so terribly done that's the whole video in and of itself. But
we'll do that later.
Yeah,
I do want to have an Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
It will happen.
Pokemon and then Metroid. If those three,
we'll convert Anthony.
Animal Crossing. Well.
If they can give me something solid, it'll boost my hype through the roof. But where we're sitting now, just consider the 7.5.
And for me, I would go an 8.
Okay, so maybe I said it a little high.
No.
I'm not necessarily changing it now. There's still things Smash has got me excited, and there's a number of other things throughout the year that I'm really looking forward to. So I guess it's a 9 out of hopefulness.
Yes, I would also give it a 9 out of hopefulness.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I'm giving it is an 8 is because I've already said this. I'm very nervous that Metroid's going to be delayed to 2020, and that would bring down my hype from a 9 to an 8. So I'm just going to give it an 8.
That's conservative. For me, it would go from a 9 to a 6.
Well, there's still so many. There's just so many other good games coming out, like Animal Crossing and you know the Pokemon game and those others that we mentioned. Like there's tons of good stuff coming out. So there's still enough for me to play that it won't be. It will be tragic, but it won't give me. Right? I'll still have things to play. That's what I'm trying to say. And they're still really good games.
It's gonna set me down hard.
It would be.
It'll set me down hard.
Nintendo, don't mess this up.
I mean,
DLC if you have to.
If it's early 2020, I'm fine. I just want to know in advance, and I want to have a lot of news about it. That's the thing. But okay.
And if it's not going to be this year, set our expectations that way soon. Do it this month. If you're going to have a direct this month, hopefully, then be honest with us and say this may be a 2020 title.
Yeah. But also don't.
Don't.
But
I think that's about.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to end with, I think, one final interjection, though, that I think is one thing that has made me very, very positive and very optimistic about the future with Nintendo. I've listed a few things that I feel like they really strongly need to fix, but the one thing that I think is unique about this new era of Nintendo with the Switch that has never existed before, and I've been a Nintendo fan since the NES, is that I can't keep up with the games I want to play.
Yep.
Like I've never had this type of backlog, and especially
Same.
with the Wii U era. Oh my gosh, I could have all year to finish just the one good game that came out that year.
True.
And that was all I ever touched. And you know,
I got one game for my birthday in June and one for Christmas in December.
And that's all that was
And
interesting to
That
watch.
was a stretch sometimes because like one of the games I got around my birthday was the Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I did like that one though.
I love that
That
one.
is a
That
good
was a
game.
fun game.
It's a great game. I still haven't got the definitive edition. I will. I'll get it on my Switch. Don't worry. But I haven't yet because backlog, and I can't keep up, and I don't have time to put my money down for past ported games because I have to put my money toward Metroid Prime 4, Animal Crossing,
The new game.
Pokemon. I don't have time to. Anyway, yes, backlog.
Yeah, no, I think that the big thing is that already the Switch has more like AAA Nintendo offerings and even some, I would say, non-Nintendo offerings in its first 2 years than the Wii U had in its entire lifetime. And this year already we have
Warframe.
Oh, Warframe's pretty fun.
Okay, that's just
We're going way off here. We're
winding down.
yeah, we're almost done here. But the point is, there's a lot of good things on the radar, even if it's not this year. And the fact of the matter is, like, if and I guess this is why I'm still feeling so good about where we're at with Nintendo is if few of these games end up happening this year, I still have my work cut out for me. And,
Yeah.
And like maybe that's partially due to the fact that I've got I've got a kid that I have to, it takes up most of my time. Mm-hmm. So like I can't play all the time, but it's a nice place to be after the Wii U era, where I keep on just having these excellent games. I keep having to add to my backlist, and so like I know I'm going to be entertained pretty much all year, and that's on top of knowing what we're gonna get.
Yep.
So.
Well, we're wrapping it up. You guys good?
I think so.
Anthony, you wrapped it up pretty good. I'm gonna let you finish wrapping it up. Take us home, man.
Yep.
Take us home.
Keep it nerdy.
Peace.
See